Hey, this is Alex, and I'm with Duck Cinema. Only got a few minutes to do this one, so I just got out of watching the first half of Kill Bill: The Bloody Affair, the whole Bloody Affair. Quentin Tarantino's fourth film. Intermission right now, so let me just get some thoughts out of the way, so that way I can come back and do the rest. So intermission is going to be about 15 minutes, I think. I've seen this movie like in theater before, I think, at least the first part. I've probably seen the second part in theater too, but it's been so long since I've seen it. Every so often I'll come back to it, but like I never watched the whole thing through again. So like I forget a bunch of stuff. But anyways, first movie is like a homage to all the 80s, 70s like style of like Hong Kong. It is a homage to all the like B movie that was done in the 80s or so. It is all action packed, very little storytelling. All you know is that there's a woman played by Uma Thurman, the bride, who is on a revenge quest to kill a person named Bill. And in order to kill Bill, not just Bill, but like the whole squad. So because I know what happens and I fully understand it now, so it feels a little bit like cohesive. Because I have seen part 2, I understand the motivation behind everything. And so watching it again makes it feels like, okay, this totally makes sense and so forth. But I remember watching Kill Bill Part 1 like in theater, and I was like, what like, where's the story? And it doesn't feel right. And until you get to Part 2, like, okay, now you fully understand. The mystery of like who Bill is, what the bride name and so forth. I remember I remember that part a lot when I first watched it, and like now it beep out the name and so forth. So I thought that's still well done. Just as any movies that I've seen, again, I'm always paying attention to like small details in the back end and so forth. I didn't know how crazy the fight scene was. There was, but the fight scene, I mean the crazy fight scenes. There's a lot of homage to like other films. I mean, the whole movie is a homage to other films, but like in this one, there's a lot of homage to like old just Hong Kong film that was done before. This is truly Tarantino love letter to all the stuff that he watched or he grew up watching, and it is so cool to see everything put in together. Is it silly? Yeah, of course. Like there's some silliness in the movie, but like you definitely buy into the silliness, and they try to take it like very serious. So in some way you take it very seriously too as you're following along the movie, the story. There was a so in the original Kill Bill, there is no origin of Oshi. Oshi is one of the assassins played by Lucy Liu. In this one, the origin of Oshi is done in animation, and I've never seen that, and it is gorgeous to watch. But man, it is gory, man. I was like, like I was grasping and grinding my teeth the whole time as I was watching that. And not only that, but like the fight choreography and just, it's just a lot of tension as I was watching, which is great. This is what you want to do in this type of movie. Overall, so far so good. I completely enjoy part 1. I 9 out of 10 kind of thing for me so far. So I'm gonna come back to watch part 2, and then I'll come back here to finish up part 2. Finish up the review. But anyways, this is Duck with Alex with Duck Cinema. I'm gonna go watch the part 2 now. Bye. Hey, this is Alex, and I'm at Duck Cinema. I just got out of watching Kill Bill. The whole bloody affair, which is Kill Bill part 2. I think I did a review for part 1 already, so this is part 2. It's about 12:22 in the morning. I've been here since 7:38. 4-hour movie, so it was a back-to-back. Also, if you haven't seen Kill Bill part 2, it is the continuation part 1. Part 1 is all action based. Part 2 is very story oriented. Of course, there's actions and so forth in this movie. It presented itself as like this Western type of film, and you know, it's a different genre. Are there still references and like callback from old school movies and so forth? Yeah, definitely, especially the one with Pei Mei, which is the kung fu master that taught the main character, the bride Beatrix kiddo, all her kung fu. It is like, did I like part 2? Yes, I like part 2. There's some part that I was expecting a little bit more, especially the ending. The ending felt a little bit like, okay, I guess that's it. There's no like climatic crazy big action scene or anything, although I did like I'm a big comic book nerd, so I did like the main character Bill explaining the difference between Superman versus Spider-Man versus Batman, which I thought was like, yeah, that is so true in comics. That's the difference between Superman and everyone else. The actions in part 2 wasn't as crazy as part 1, but it was still entertaining. Overall, music for both part was good. Like, what did I get out of watching the movie back to back? I thought the story in a way flow very well, in the perspective that I remember watching part 1 and having to wait like a year to watch part 2, and like I didn't remember as much. But seeing it back to back is like, it makes much more sense in that perspective. You understand the motivation from each character a little bit better. The best sequence, I think, in the film is the whole Pei Mei thing, which is a crazy callback to like 80s kung fu movies, like Hong Kong kung fu movies, which I love. Like the whole wuxia and Shaolin Temple type, which, you know, I kind of grew up watching, so I thought that was pretty cool. Music, great. Acting, amazing. It's a Tarantino movie. Like, you watch Tarantino movie because it's like completely different, and the dialogue is very like very good, on point. Like Tarantino is known to be this guy who didn't really go to school for filmmaking, so he just went and make it. So in that perspective, when he makes movie, it feels like the script feels like a lot of real life-ish type put in the movie. The dialogue feels a little bit more natural, or at least like punchier than most. He lingers on shots longer than usual. People would normally cut, and director would normally cut and go to the next scene, but he lingers on shot, which brings out more tensions or add to the story a little bit more. Anyways, if I were to make a movie, Tarantino is sort of the type of movie I would want to make. You know, more natural, more easygoing, and so forth. Overall, I like part 2. Not as good as part 1. My overall feeling of you know, watching this back to back and the whole like Kill Bill, the whole affair, is that it is a great experience, and I love the whole experience having to watch that. Was it long? Yes. I actually they had an intermission in between, so I went out and recorded the first half, and then I went in and had a beer. I bought the beer, and then, you know, drinking the beer as I was watching part 2. But overall, I loved it. And if you ever had a chance to watch 1 and 2 together, even in not necessarily back to back, but like one day after another, I think that would enhance your enjoyment of the movie. So definitely go check that out if you can. Overall, still a 9 out of 10 movie. I loved the movie when I first saw it, and I love it again, you know, as I'm watching it. And one thing the last thing I want to say about this movie is like the joy of seeing Beatrix being so happy near the end. That was cool, you know. I a lot of movie doesn't end that way, and I love the fact that it ends this way. It's just a happy-go-lucky kind of ending. Anyways, this is Alex with Duck Cinema. Just watched Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. 9 out of 10. Definitely watch it if you can, and I'm out.